All right. Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the 21st episode of Outside the Box with Seth, Siyon. Welcome, kings, queens, knights, jesters, nobles. Again, appreciate y'all joining me on the 21st episode. I'm back here with my classmate, Candy Cash. She was actually on the episode 20 where we were discussing homecoming. And so as we reconnected and been catching up, we've been talking about life in general, and so one of the things I asked her about was how, she's in the DR, Dominican Republic, and I asked her how did she like it living there, being out there, and so it started from there, and I'll let her explain exactly, what she said. I don't want to put the words in her mouth, so yeah. So what's one thing you told me about the DR?
Okay, so you put it on me to start off with.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
No, I just said that there's a lot of challenges. I love the country. It's a great place to invest in real estate. It's a great place to live. The weather's great, but there is a lot of challenges dating and finding real love and true love. And then it actually sparked a different conversation about communication and just dating dynamics nowadays. And I just feel like, a part of my life, living in DR and dealing with those nuances, and is anything real down there? So that's pretty much, I just kind of told him that it's a different dynamic down there, in terms of compatibility and what people are bringing to the table. So it's different.
So it's if you don't mind, just kind of give me some examples of what you've been experiencing, with dating in the DR.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, I don't want to go too deep into it.
Just give us surface level.
Like Dominican men in general are very, one thing that's positive about the culture is living for the day, and stress is not something that is going to affect them. But I think the cultural nuances in terms of lifestyle and just compatibility and wanting someone to kind of build with you. And a lot of times, if you're coming in as an expat, which is a term that is used for people that are from another country that live in a country. So I would be considered an expat, an expatriate. It's a challenge, no matter, coming from a foreign country, coming from the United States, and dating in that culture and trying to merge cultures and how their upbringing was, maybe things that their parents, their mom, dad, what they saw in their lifestyle versus my lifestyle. So, I mean, we can go deep into it, but I just want to keep it surface right now.
Yeah. But I would say this, like one thing you said about how they live, like as far as kind of living in the moment, kind of like not worried about that stressing. That's actually a healthy way to live. You know what I'm saying? But I understand, also, you have to have goals, and you have to have goals. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like every day that you should like try to work on something that you want to be or something you want to accomplish, and like you should work on that each and every day. Again, like living in the moment is the healthiest way to live because it eliminates stress, it eliminates worry, eliminates all the the stuff that, especially in America, that we live, we go through daily. You know what I'm saying? Worrying about this, worrying about that. Sometimes some things, and half the time we have no control over it.
Right.
It's just, and then it's like it just wears on you, and it's pointless.
Well, you have to have a partnership. So, for example, if you have someone who has similar goals, or if you all are building something together, that's something that I would say is a challenge there. Like meeting, because it's such a, it's a tourist destination. It's a mix of locals and expats from all over the world, and then tourists that come down. And I think that dealing with the dynamic of that scenario is harder for people to be genuine. And if you have more than the average, I mean, especially from a woman's perspective, a lot of the Dominican people don't make that much money in certain roles.
So you say the breadwinner in the Dominican Republic is men or women?
Oh, it would be It would be
for
the expats it's the women,
okay.
And then even in the Dominican culture, a lot of the women have some of the better jobs, the ones that are not domesticated, just in the house cooking, and that's how like a lot of the guys from the more country rural parts of DR, they've seen their moms, sisters, those ladies don't work, they're washing, cooking, cleaning all day. You go to a Dominican house, you got salami, tostones, you got things. They're not out making the money. The things that I would say is, and that kind of sparked another conversation, is about, if somebody is working and contributing and helping with the household, and just, we talk about a lot of different things, communication, but just and
and that's one thing I was talking about, because you was like, you want somebody that's gonna kind of meet you halfway, that's that's gonna have aspiration goals, or do better. And that's the part of, like I was telling you, like the communication in the beginning. Like you got to, like you have to have them conversations. I ain't gonna say off the rip, but when it gets to a point where you like, y'all, spending a lot of time together and starting, kind of grow together, them conversations that you got to have is figuring out, like, so, what are your goals, or, what do you want, stuff like that.
That's the conversation's going to be had. I mean, a lot of times you got to go by not just the conversation, but the actions. So I've learned to not go by what somebody tells me. I have to see what you show me. Because you could tell me you love me in a week, which is what people, and then I need to see what you're bringing to the table. Yeah, they'll tell you that, yes. I love you,
Wow.
Te amo, mommy,
okay, all right, yeah.
So
I guess.
And going into what you said, because now I'm going to turn it to you, because one of the things you mentioned to me when we were talking, I said, what would you need at this point? And know you expressed that you had, recently got out from a period of incarceration.
Right.
What would you need from a woman at this point in your life? And you said a helper.
Right.
Okay. Yeah. And I said, that's what I feel like most women are looking for, in terms of whether you're in the United States or anywhere. We want someone to help us achieve our goal and take the stress out of us.
Yeah. Well, not just, I won't say, yes, I do want to help her, but, at my stage, more as companionship, like I told you before, like, you've been around men for so long, 8 years, like, you just want to be in the presence of women, like, so, and, it's, at the end of the day, it's just like I told you about, like, having them conversations, like, one thing that I was battling is, like, as soon as, get out, they just, women automatically want to just, like, lock me in, you know what I'm saying? Or like, and I'm like, I just want companionship. I want a friend, and friend I know could be used in many ways, or whatever. But more of like just genuine, like just having somebody that I can talk to, have somebody to be around, have fun with.
And a friends with benefits, or no?
Well, that's a whole other conversation. Is that what I'm saying? So,
no, it's the same conversation. That's
but I mean, again, like,
is that a part of the friendship?
It could be, yeah.
Okay, but what would the terms have to be?
I mean, the terms would be exactly what they were. Like, I'm letting you know, like, I'm not, because, all right, so this is my thing, like, just coming out of prison, whatever. I'm trying to settle my way into this, this generation, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a total different generation from what I was in before. So it's that. And then it's also like I'm starting over again, you know what I'm saying, from scratch. So it's certain things that, I have to accomplish for myself. And I'm trying to build my foundation, because I know this one thing I did learn as a man, like, we have a certain role and responsibility in life and in relationships. So I would be cheating myself, and I would be cheating anyone else if I was to just jump into something and I ain't even got my foundation laid. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, so I say that to say that, yes, I do want companionship and I do want a friendship, but as far as anything serious or anything committed, no, because again, it's not going to be right until I build my foundation and start building my empire. You see what I'm saying?
And that's a good way to look at it, because I see the opposite in Dominican Republic. I see men jump in head first. They don't have anything, and they want to go 0 to 1,000, and then just figure it out or let you pick up the slack. I want to ask you, do you feel like, because there's an adjustment period, and you just saying I want to be around women after so long. When do you feel like you will ever? I mean, that's a part of your life that's going to be that's never going to go away. When do you think that you? I mean, did it like stain you in an instant as far as like being able to fully allow yourself to be in something, or do you feel like that's going to be a period, like maybe after 5 years or after half the time that you will start to slow?
Yeah, everything has a timing. I don't know that timing. I can't say it's going to be in a year. I can't say it's going to be in a month. Like, I don't know. Right. It's just the timing. But again, I'm just, like I said, my main objective is focusing on laying my foundation down and building my empire, because, of course, I would like a helper, you know what I mean? But again, it's just certain. I just know it's when you put yourself in that commitment relationship, if you're not holding to the role that you're supposed to hold, it won't work. It will always be problems. It will always be like dysfunction. It was all, it would just be, and then not let a woman, you don't want to put I know nowadays is different. I get it. Some women do make more money than a man's on, which is cool. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, the man has to at least, meet you halfway, offer something to the table. You know what I'm saying? So in order to do that, he has to have at least a foundation laid. He ain't have to have a whole empire, because Rome won't build in a day. But he just needs to be doing steps to work on that empire to become the true head, so that way, you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like, I don't, we talked about this too. Like, I would like to live, like, as far as like me being the sole provider, and like if I had the kids, whatever, my wife whatever do the homeschooling, and such like that. Like, yeah.
So let me ask you this. Okay, why are you going? So when you first got out, you were saying that you met people, we're not going to use any names, that wanted to kind of go 0 to 60, and that were willing to kind of let you figure it out, or were they didn't need you to lay the foundation? You were saying these women just wanted a man, right, man on earth. Yeah, and do you think it had to do with, I don't know how old they were? What do you think was the reason behind that? Because we know there's more women in the world than men. We know that statistically, every woman is not going to get married. Right. God willing, I will.
And that's why I'm very like, I'm very open to like polygamy, because like, look, but what was you saying? Like, but nature teaches us that, and the word teaches that. So anyway, we'll get that later. But anyway, so what I see it is just like I said, this is a whole nother generation, and the like women that are our age. I'm not gonna I'm 23 anyway. But anyway, so women that are our age, women that are our age, they are used to a certain type of man, and this generation doesn't produce those certain type of men. So it's like now they feel like it's a shortage of men, because you have these men now are not like built like
they're not built like, and rest so my father's just passed away.
They're so metro, where they're wearing purses and fingernail polish.
But not only that, they're not men. They don't want to. And women have, and we talked about this too.
You can talk like women, like you know what I mean. We can't
tap into our, like, I feel like I'm an alpha woman, but I still have traditional views, but I'm alpha. We can't tap into our femininity. We want to be able to tap into that and just kind of like let the man, do that. And you're not meeting men nowadays that are, they want the woman to take care of them. They want the woman to do everything, and they're willing to. But then women kind of are setting it up that way, because you said you met some that were kind of open. I mean, they didn't. You just. I mean, I don't even know if you were working or anything. Were they okay?
No, I wasn't even working. Okay. I mean, like I said, I'm this is all fresh out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I wasn't even working. Like, I'm still on the monitor. Like, I had to be in by 6:00. Like, I mean, it wasn't too much I could do. So, I didn't have no car, like nothing.
So, what do you think that was about? Do you think that was more like a physical thing? Because again, and someone said this to me too, by the way, and I don't want you to. But they said that if we had to vote anybody that had like a glow up after we graduated, a glow up like a of transformation.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not that you, but it's just like shocking. I mean, so do you think that women were more willing to do that off of just the physical aspect of you and just wanting that, or what do they want from you?
Okay,
because
go ahead.
What was the connection? That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, first off, yes, the physical was definitely there, but also too my mental. You know what I'm saying? Like and a lot of women say this, like I give peace. You know what I'm saying? And this is just my demeanor, it's just who I am. And also I'm a healer. When I say I'm a healer, like I'm very like intuitive of like the our mental state, and like I'm very spiritual. So like I'm easy to give somebody their peace and give them also like that fire to like be better and to do better and to learn how to like let shit go, and you know what I'm saying. So like, yes, the physical part was like probably the initial, but once they got to know me, it's like damn, like you know what I mean. And I get it, you know what I mean. But at the end of the day, you have to allow me to become who I need to become first.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And just
So when you say get to know you, let's talk about the communication, right?
Yeah.
Do you feel like you are revealing, like I talked about in the last episode, we don't always tell everything about ourselves. We don't reveal things. Do you feel like you were opening up certain aspects of yourself?
Well, I'll be honest with you. And this one thing I had to learn too. I was a little bit too honest in the beginning.
But see, that is probably what attracted the women, because we do. Sometimes it can turn on, but it actually works in the opposite way.
Yeah,
when you honest,
yeah.
But sometimes it can backfire.
Right,
sure,
that's
if you're too honest and say, "Well, I don't really want anything. I just want to use you."
Right.
It's like,
well, I didn't. Of course, that wasn't that ain't me. But I mean, when I say I was too honest, I was just saying I just kept it real. I mean, I can't say exactly what I was. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, you mean as far as what, not wanting anything serious, just
right. And not only that, just like who I am, like you know what I'm saying. Like I say, like if I go to the bar, I might be with a friend, but I still might be talking to other people. You know what I'm saying? It's not no disrespect. It's just I'm just a social person. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just my nature. You know what I'm saying? So, and then also like with me doing podcasts and stuff, like I always like to like talk to different people and get like different point of view. Nothing like I'm just trying to I'm trying to hit this or I'm trying to get her number. Nah, ain't nothing like that. But that's just who I am. Yeah. So back to what I'm saying about me being too honest. Like sometimes like you said, being too honest can backfire, and also sometimes it can be attractive. You know what I'm saying? So I think I kind of got both. You know what I'm saying? So I can't say it was all bad for me, but I can't say it was all good for me neither. Because even when I did tell the truth, it was still like not received that way, if that makes sense.
Well, what was your truth? See, it depends on what you're saying. Like, and what was the truth you were saying? Was the truth discovered after you'd already been intimate? You'd already been intimate? Or no?
No, before. I always made sure before that. But this is my thing about it though. So like, I give you an example. For instance, like if I'm be like, look, they be like, what do you want, blah blah. I just want a friend, But they can take that and be like, they can make it their own. Again, I made it clear like I'm not trying to be in no commitment. I'm not trying to be in no relationship, because I'm focused on me right now, which you should want me to. You know what I'm saying? So again, if we can balance that out, just being friends, you know what I'm saying, and just going with the flow, then that's pretty much it.
So has that made you leery when you meet women now or connect with them, because you understood what the dynamic is now? Are you approaching them different? Not approaching them, but handling it differently. Like, for example, do you really, really proceed with caution because of that? Or do you still, because you said that once you revealed that, it changed everything, so that kind of maybe halted your. Did that change how you were dealing with women?
Yeah, because again, like I told you earlier, like when I first got out, I was very vulnerable because I'm fresh out. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a year now. So now I just kind of I stay out the way with it. I just kind of you know what I'm saying.
Is that a good
Well, and I say this to say this because I'm not going to try to. I ain't gonna say I'm not gonna try to pursue, but I'm just to the point where I'm not going.
You're gonna let it come to you,
right? You know what I'm saying. And then like once I speak my truth, that's their choice.
If it come to you, okay. So that's the case. That means you won't. You're not gonna make a move. You're gonna let it come to you. So
because I feel like it's double standards if I'm pursuing it, knowing that I'm not ready for nothing serious. You know what I'm saying? But again, like it's just I guess it's up to the individual. You know what I'm saying? You gotta see what this person's at in life, what they're looking for. Like I said, most women are just looking for a man. You know what I'm saying? They just want somebody, a man. Which I get it.
But when you say just looking for, you mean just physically a man to hook up with, or you mean
to eventually, like be with, like marriage. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So how does that? Or do you think it's based on our age group? Because again, the things you work back in your 20s. It's not gonna work
because women's in our age, they're like they at that point that they're trying to like it's either all or nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they look at it like at this point, like what are we doing? Like if I go down that road,
right?
Where is it gonna lead? And
I get it. So it's like a choice, like and then like the younger women, it's like there's no kind of like connection. You know
so for you, what you do. You either have I know what you're saying. So do you let it come to you? So I think by you, when it comes to you, they would have to approach you. And they
why, but I'm gonna explain why I do that, because that helps me to focus on myself to get me where I need to be without distractions.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So that's why I do that. Because like I said, I know where I want to be. I know where I want. I know where I want to lay my foundation down. I know how I want to build my empire. So again, it's more me doing that for that purpose versus just doing it because I don't want to commit or I don't want to be in a relationship, nothing like that.
Okay, so it's because that's a great way. I mean, look, women, we're kind of made up a little differently because I mean I can see how that works because I've had even things happen to me in terms of relationships where it caught me off, and I'm trying to rebuild and refocus on my empire. I would say I'm a girl boss. I'm building my empire, and distractions are very real. So relationships can be distractions, major distractions, because you're worried, you're thinking about somebody else when you need to be focusing on your situation. Right. So, but I guess, I mean, at the end of the day, that's what life is still about. It's not just about that, but it's also another aspect of love. And you mentioned something before that you don't know if you would be in love.
Well, see, no, I say okay. So we go here. That's cool. And this is what I say. Like, and I ask you this question. I like, what's the difference between being in love and loving somebody? And what did you say?
Well, I said loving somebody is after, like, no matter what you do. Well, not no matter what you do, but that's the little things. No, I would say the little things. I still love you regardless. Like even if you got some habits that piss me off, I still have love for you. I still love you. That doesn't change my love. In love, I feel like it's more the infatuation phase. Like I'm just so I'm looking at you and still intensively like loving you, infatuated. Mm-hmm. Love, I feel like, is after the haze is worn off, and you got this annoying habit, but I still love you. That's why I feel like love is going through the trenches and going through different life scenarios. And I'm still there for you. I mean, it's different. You
explained different earlier, but so I'm yeah. So anyway, so like, all right. So this is what I was saying when we talked about this. So to me, in love is. Like, I feel like nothing in this world. So first of all, just know that I'm very spiritual. First of all, so I feel like nothing in this world I should be in love with besides the Creator. You know what I'm saying? And I say that to say that being in love is you're basically attaching yourself to something that's not yours. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is when you attach yourself to something like that, it's like the Creator show you like, okay, so this is who you want to worship. This is who you want to like.
But it's not about worshiping the person. Like when you attach yourself and you get married.
That's how I define
like you're joining
love,
yourself.
Though.
You're joining.
That's love to me.
Yeah,
that's
like
love.
But it's not that I'm.
But does love have one definition though? Is it in a box? because love is infinite. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because the Creator is love. You see
Yeah,
what I'm
God
saying?
is love. So that
Right.
that it's you're gonna hone
So
in on
I
that
think when we
person.
attach more to it, it's like a form of like worship, more of attachments that we create. Because it's not nowhere written in any literature where you should be in love with anything. You know what I'm saying? It's all love. So again, I'm coming from a spiritual point. Teach if you want to be in whatever, that's up to you. But I'm just coming from a spiritual point. There's no in all religions, no literature that says anything about you should be in love with anybody or anything at that point. So I just I think people limit love. They try to put it in like this little box, but it's infinite. The same way you can say you're in love, you can just say
so. All right. You said that, but it's still life. You still got to live. So how are you navigating the dating? How are you navigating that? Because again, you know that most women are going to want more after just a rendezvous or 2 or 3 or 4.
Right.
Are you saying that long as it's cool and they don't fall in love, which I don't know how, I mean, they can stop themselves. I mean, you can stop yourself.
Again,
how does it, or you saying, but that's how, gonna let it flow. If it happens,
but
it happens.
But that's the conversation I always have from the beginning.
But you can have a conversation. That's not how, we know that's not how emotions are. Having a conversation.
You're right. But again, I can only speak my truth.
You would just let it flow because you figure like no matter what, you've cut that part of yourself off.
But at the end of the day, I have but in a way, I have met women that were on the same page. You know what I'm saying? But it's like they was on the same page as much as I was that it couldn't work. You see what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
See, okay, no, that doesn't make sense because you're saying they was on the same page. Why did it not work if y'all were both on the same page and you say you don't want anything?
For one thing, if you got two people that are focused on this, like if I'm focused on myself, this person focuses on themselves. They working on their empire, I'm working on my empire. And not only that, it was not that part. It was more of the connection part and more of a maturity level. You get what I'm saying? So I don't want to say that it was just that. It was just more on that. The ones that I did, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not like, I'm not pressed for nothing. Like I said, because all this is doing is helping me focus on myself and get to where I need to be without any distractions.
So are you shut off from that? Like, so what are you saying? Like not shut off. That part of you, like.
No, I'm not shut off. It's just hard to find that understanding. It was hard to find that understanding. I say it like that. It was hard to find that understanding. And I'm not saying that it's not out there. You know what I'm saying? And like again, it's not like I'm looking for anything. It's not that I'm trying to pursue anything. It's just I'm just speaking my truth. That's what I experienced. And from here, it is what it is.
Okay, so going back to speaking of truth, I want to get more into the detail as far as when you were talking about communication and just from your male point of view, how women were adamant about moving in a certain direction and you were saying no.
So say that again.
Like when you were saying that when you first came out, it was women that were adamant and they were willing to compromise, knowing that you were just kind of getting on your feet. So when you met them, I guess what were you saying? You told them everything. You were super honest about your situation. And what was their response? Like, oh, okay, I can help you out, or
pretty much, it's like kind of want to help me out. Which again, like
you could have used that in a different way if you were a different type of guy.
Exactly. Like if I was, a different type of dude, I could have walked the dog. You know what I'm saying? Like I could have built an empire for them if I was the type of dude, but I'm not, because I believe in karma and I believe, you know what I'm saying? Like so, and I don't let it's just not me. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been that type of person. No, I don't think so. No. So yeah, but when I was younger, of course, I used to like, ride off there a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Especially from an older woman, take care of you, whatever, blah blah. But again, I'm not the type of person. Like I said, I believe in karma. Plus, I don't want to like, I look at it now that I have daughters. Like I would never want a man to do my daughters like that. You know what I'm saying? So I got different respect for that now.
So with that being said, like when you meet women, I guess when you had that conversation or you don't have that conversation, you just kind of go with their energy and what they are.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like you said before, like when it when I would meet them, like in the beginning, it would just be all fun or whatever. But eventually it's gonna set in. Like, okay, so what do we do from here? Or what you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, just having fun, whatever. Don't blah blah. So again, like it's that part right there that I experienced when I first got out. And
but right now you're okay with that.
Okay with what?
It being like what it is because you're
yeah, because I didn't like. I guess it was like them kind of like what they call it, get the jitters off. So the jitters are gone now, and I'm really focused on myself right now. You know what I'm saying? And again, like any woman should want that for somebody. You know what I'm saying? For a man, especially for a man. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like I said, we have a certain role and responsibility in a family and life and everything. So it's important for us to focus on us and to like fulfill our roles and purposes.
So I guess
So let me ask you this question. Now you talked about how in Dominican Republic the guys are pretty much opposite of what I'm saying. They more like kind of like it is basically not trying to be better, not having any goals, and kind of. You didn't say this per se, but I'm just saying, kind of basically like living off of, especially a woman that's not from there, because they know they're gonna have extra money. So, how would you look at it if from that point of view, saying that if you did find somebody that had goals and aspirations to be better, whatever, wouldn't you want that?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the goal, but I just feel like, and I hate to say it, I mean, it's hard, to find that anywhere, but definitely in a different culture where it's kind of like 90% of people is like a used thing. So it's like, okay, unless this person is coming with something, and that was going to be my question for you in terms of what a woman would bring to you at this point. You have to see what that person has to offer and you offer them. Like, what do you both bring to the table in terms of the value and what you could possibly do together. Some people are not building. When you meet someone and you decide to be with them, at that point, it's like, okay, how, even if we're doing different things, how can we build something with our relationship? What is it about? So I guess my counter question would be, because you're saying this now, you're building your empire. What role would a woman have in your life now, and what value would she bring, or she wouldn't bring any value? I mean, what would the value be other than just the sex?
I mean, the sex is like not even a part of it, really. I mean, it's more like just being at peace and just like companionship, like and a helper. Somebody that like, and when I say a helper, it could be just somebody that I can like vent to. Somebody I can like share my ideas with, and not have it like used on me. Cause see, this what like we talked about this too. Yeah, we're getting this shit. I forgot about that. So yeah, so like that's the thing. Like especially like I been in relationships long ago where I would be vulnerable and like try to do these things, and then when things are not good, it get thrown back at me. So it's like
that always happens.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
so
why
like,
they say don't tell.
Right.
Because then they will use it against you.
Use it against you, right? So like, and I'm careful about that now. So I don't really.
That's why I said, have you shut off? Because I listen to you. Have you shut off certain parts of allowing yourself?
It's more of wisdom. I ain't gonna say shut off. It's more wisdom.
Because you say you're not open to right now. You said I'm building my empire. So anybody who meets you, they would have to be okay with riding it out for however long.
That's their choice. That's their choice.
Unless the switch goes off and you fall in love, and it's like, okay, I'm different.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
but they have to see. I mean, they have to.
But that's their choice. And I mean, like I said, that's why I'm not. Like I said, I got the jitters off, so I'm not really even. It don't bother me no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, because now I have more time. Like, I feel like I have more time to really focus on. Because, like, at the end of the day, if I don't get to where I need to be, regardless, I try to jump into anything, right, it's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying?
So that's my question. That was our question. So at this point in your life, could a woman add value and or what would a woman bring to you at this point other than being a helpmate, which we know in essence most helpmates are married. That's a commitment level, whether it's married or just spiritual, whatever your commitment level is. What would because it also boils down to, we talked about before, you said women need men and men need women, right? Mm-hmm. I think you said that before.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But at this point in your life, you don't really need a woman.
But everything has it's like I said, everything has a time and a season.
Right, but I'm saying at this point in your life, the only thing a woman can bring to you, and you may not want to answer at this point.
I'll tell you.
Just what I'll tell you. Other than the companion, a dog. Man's best friend is a companion. Okay, so okay, so we're talking about the sex. That is what. No,
that's not. It's more about peace, understanding, and when I say companionship, I'm just saying as far as like I said, I just like even if it's like going bowling or going whatever, just a friend. You know what I'm saying? Cause like I mean,
a friend with benefits.
I'm not even thinking about that. Yeah, that's icing on the cake. Like I'm not even focused on that. You know what I'm saying? Because I can take. I ain't go there, but I mean, at the end of the day. I mean, I'm just saying that's not the. Yes, that's icing on the cake.
You say you can what? Finish that sentence.
No, I'm just saying if it need to be, I can take care of myself. I'm just saying, yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's not like my drive. You know what I'm saying? It's more just about having genuine connection and friendship. And at this point, now, if there was, I mean, I can't say this, and you know what I'm saying, but if there was somebody that that ended up fulfilling like hitting everything, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I mean, I'm open to it. But again, and that's somebody that's gonna have to like love me for me and like go through the right, because like I'm different. So you know what I'm saying? Like they gonna have to love. They got to really love me for me and be understanding, and also like just be like that ride or die with me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have anything to say. Okay. So, okay. Well, you touched on, so then that's different. That's different than what you initially said about where you would go. You just saying that somebody would have to exercise patience. And
definitely.
They would have to go with the flow. So, ladies, you have to go with the flow.
Go with the flow.
And just not add your feelings to it. So if you
well, it's a balance. It's a balance, but it's really, especially when it comes to feelings and emotions. And I know women are more emotional than men are naturally. So yeah, it's just that balance of like trying to, I ain't gonna say suppress it, but just through my truth, just understanding. Because I say for your situation, when you was dating the guys that you say how they are in Dominican Republic. Did you voice your truth to them? And did they, and like, what was their response?
Well, I think at that point it's too late. Like sometimes the truth wasn't voiced in the beginning, and not just voicing it and talking it, but also, like I said, seeing what that person does. Not so much of, let me tell you this, because they're not trying to hear anything. So it's like, but you can't have those conversations. I mean, maybe it's a language barrier as well, but I would say at this point in life, and it's not just about dating Dominican men or even American men, I think is what a man shows you. Like, I'm not trying to hear, at this point, I have to go by actions because, women, especially myself, I've allowed myself to be vulnerable and went down a path. So I have to go by your actions, no matter what you say to me. If you say, you're the best thing and I want, even while I've been, when you dated people in the past and this is not just Dominicans. Like I said, they can be, they say one thing and then it's something else. So I have to really go by actions.
So let me ask you this. So when did you get to the point where you like, all right, let me ask you this first. So what do you want right now in your life?
I mean, the same thing. I mean, definitely I'm looking for a partner, someone I could build with. I'm an ambitious, I hate to say alpha because people, that's negative, but I'm an alpha woman, so I'm very ambitious. I have big dreams.
That's due to men, so yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it is, yeah, but men, I mean, that's just who it is.
Well, boys, whatever. Yeah. I don't call them men and boys, yeah.
And then somebody would have to understand that that's the type of woman I am, and I'm aggressive when I need to be, but when I'm not, I'm still a woman. I'm still in my femininity. So I would need someone that can be like a partner to me. When I look at things, I look at it like we're best friends, you're my partner. We can make money together. We can, travel, do things, and still be in love and still keep rediscovering each other.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I want to, and be, it's still that part.
Okay.
And then rediscover things about each other and be like my friend. That's the thing. It has to be a friendship there. So,
hey, you know what? Since you said that, that's good. You just juke something there. I think a lot of relationships skip that part, the friendship part. Like, if people was learn how to just be friends at first, without allowing their feelings and emotions to get involved, to cause them to just like, let's get married, let's be boyfriend, girlfriend, put a title on it and all this stuff. You would save a whole lot of heartache and drama by doing that, because friendship is not like, when we were like in school and stuff. When you get older, it evolves to like more meaningful things. You know what I'm saying? Not just like going to the park, playing, riding bikes together, stuff, shit like that. It's actually like dealing with your mental. It's dealing with your like. A friend is somebody that you like, gives you peace, that understands you, that allows you to like talk to them and vent, understands you, like, you know what I'm saying? So like that aspect of it, like, people skip, and I think it goes back to what you said earlier. Like, people have this timeline. I need to be here. I need to be this at this point, at this age, at this point, at this time. Like, and they rush into things, and that's what causes that, that unhappiness and that, all the shit that, you can avoid.
My brother said to me years ago, my middle brother, he told me that, Candy, men don't look at time, women, they look at the quality of relationship, women look at time. And that was the realest thing he said, because we do. When things don't work out, if they were, I've been with him 5 years, I've been with him 10 years. But he said, men look at the quality of the relationship. They could be with you 2 years and it was better than the 20 years they were with you. So I always try to keep that in my mind. But the part of us that is different in terms of our biological clocks and us being cognizant of our age, and as women, it was said that our beauty peaks at age 37. I'm 35, so I have, a few more years to 37, but it says that after 37, our beauty, that, I don't know if you knew that was but what I'm saying is, because men know it, and our value is a lot of times associated with our age, women start looking at it like, I'm not getting any younger, and not being cognizant of time. Even my friends and I have talked about this in terms of, we should have been married by now. We should have, because we were enjoying our 20s. We're partying and graduating college and doing our girls' trips to the Caribbean. We weren't thinking about being married. Then it's like, oh God, I'm 35. Ooh, we should have been married by now. So now it's harder, because we have people that have been married, they're coming out of relationships. Men don't want to jump back into it. They may need 5 or 6 or 10 years. Women look at it like, I don't have 10 years for you to do that, for you to decide. That is why it's been said that a lot of times women should go a little younger.
Mm-hmm. No, go ahead.
Because I'm sorry. Because but we have to be, as women, cognizant of our time. That is something that I feel like I made a mistake in terms of, when I was younger, maybe not putting more of a effort to say, okay, I need to be married. I didn't want to be married at 25. I was like, I'm gonna be a U.S. consulate. I'm gonna travel the world, and I'm still living my dreams. And then the dating, but then we don't have, just this last thing I say, when we meet somebody And we have to think about that as women. We meet somebody. It's not that we're trying to go 0 to 1,000, but it's also like, okay, we start vibing. Okay, we're being intimate. I don't want to waste 2 to 3 years of my life at this point for you to not know that you want me. I don't think it takes that long for someone to decide. I think after a few months, you know what you want from that person, and I feel like our timeline needs to be shortened as women. We don't need to give people 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 years of our life. If I'm with you 90 days and you like, oh, I'm not, it doesn't take that long to see that it's faded away, or that someone does not want what you want.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My parents got married in the 60s. They dated 6 months, and then they got married. So, but my father knew he wanted to marry my mother. He proposed to her 4 months in. So it's just, that's what my perspective is. Our timelines are different.
Okay. All right. I took a couple of notes. I'm gonna try to hit on everything you just spoke on, and I appreciate that. That's not only your truth. I think that's most women's truth.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying. So I listen to that, take heed to it. So I would say this, speaking from a man, and I can speak from probably 90% of men. Men don't care about looks like women think they do. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I know I can get a lot of yes. And I promise you, I can get some amens on this one, some hand claps and some hallelujahs and everything. Men don't care, like, especially like men love natural beauty. Men love natural beauty. Now, I get it. Women have been raised and groomed for to always wear makeup, make sure everything, fingernail, toenail, blah blah blah. That's for y'all. That's not for men. We don't give a fuck. Like we prefer natural. Like most. If I'm wrong, call me out. I guarantee 90% of men.
You just saying that because
90% of men. I'm telling you, I had these conversations many times, and I'm telling you, men they prefer natural versus.
So when you say natural, you mean in terms of natural aging?
Okay. Let me give you examples. Like it's. Again, I'm not saying nothing wrong with doing all this, but society and media and TV has made it hard for women to not be natural because that's all you see on TV. Fingernail polish, toenail polish, makeup, eyeliners, the butterfly eyelashes, all this stuff. Like, they don't like that.
Okay.
That's for y'all.
I would consider myself. I'm natural. Like I don't give. I'm
not saying you per se. I'm just saying women in general.
But I'm saying when I talk about the timeline, it's not necessarily. I mean, how do you tie that into? I'm just saying that we have a timeline, and we don't want to waste time if we feel like. And yes, when we jump into it and we liking someone, we want to make sure that we're on the same page. So I think a lot of women. Also, they've been in the dating game. People are trying to get out of the dating game. It's successful or nothing. So over a certain age, the dating market is not that great. So we look at it like we don't have the choice. We got somebody who, and then there's that Build-A-Bear aspect. There's women that want to kind of create the man and mold him to who she wants him to be.
All right, so let me say this right here. I know you spoke on this, and how your parents, got together, and even my parents, even most people our age parents, they had very long relationships, 20 or better at least. You know what I'm saying? 50, 60. So I say this to say, we're in a whole nother realm right now.
But see, I still
listen, but hold on, and I know that there's still traditionalists out there. I know there's still people that honors that and they want that. That's fine. But what I'm trying to tell you is this society is not molding that type of relationship. Right. If that makes sense. So I say that to say that as we evolve as human as people. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, generations change. That since we was in school, it's been several generations. You know what I'm saying?
No, it ain't that. We're millennials. It was what, Gen Z?
Well, I'm 23. Yeah. You right. Yeah, you right.
No, so anyway, we're not that old.
I mean, I'm not old at all. I'm 23. But anyway, so what I'm saying to you is like, so it's understanding like the timing to say this, like everything has an expiration date. Just like the different seasons, you know, now we're entering fall, you know what I'm saying? It was just summertime. So I say this to say that I think people set themselves up for failure because they try to keep something forever, which is impossible, if that makes sense. So you got to learn how to enjoy the time, enjoy the moment, and learn how to understand and know when that expiration date is.
But see, that's what I'm talking about. For example, you know, when you go into this, are you thinking about an expiration date, or are you thinking?
No, it's in the moment. Just like you were saying how you said the men in Dominican they live in the moment,
right?
Like it's not a like.
That's scary to women because we want to be the same way you all want peace. We want to feel safe. We want to feel like. I don't want him to like me today, and then 2 weeks later, oh, this happened, and then he don't call me no more. We want to be okay with being in love. We want to be okay with my heart is protected, but because we know that, once we give our, once we, give that to you, we know that it's like okay. We're not it's certain that you're not just. It's harder for us just to do that.
I get it. You know why?
Why?
Because you have to take the time to first be in love with yourself. I'm an advocate for this. I always go back to this because that's the root. That is the root. You can love
yourself, but you don't want to just give yourself if nothing's coming from it.
But listen. Again, everything has an expiration date. If you truly love yourself the way you're supposed to love yourself, you will be okay with that. And it will be not a one-sided thing. It will be a mutual thing. Because if you have a genuine connection with somebody, it's not going to be, oh, one day he's just going to, I don't want to be with you no more. No, it's not going to be that way. It's just going to be a mutual thing with both y'all looking at each other like, you know what? We need to have a conversation. I like, are we even like, that's that mutual,
But
agreement.
You were saying that when you had those conversations, no matter where you're at right now.
But see, that's different.
You can have a conversation, but they got to understand that you don't want anything.
But that's different because I'm at a point where I'm just getting myself back established. You know what I'm saying? I'm speaking as far as like both people already got themselves established. They've already, you know what I'm saying? Right. That's what I'm speaking on. My situation is a little different because I'm working on myself to get myself.
And that's understandable. So you said anybody who, they should be understanding of that. And I think that is a valid point because.
And they don't have to be. I'm not saying they have to be. I'm just saying like if you want to be,
in your if they want to
right. If they want to have a. Not a relationship. Well, yeah, relationship. Because at the end of the day, companionship. Like they have to be understanding of that because, again, like I say, I'm giving you the truth.
So are you okay? Okay, you said a relationship, like a friendship. Are you okay with rendezvous in?
Yeah,
like hookups.
Yeah. That's like I said. I'm not just.
It's a case by case.
There's got to be an agreement. Okay. I got to. There's some other things going on.
What if they agree to it, but then you like? I still don't know if they will be okay with it. Like they could.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Again.
And how would you know that they would have to approach
you? That's discernment.
How would you know that?
That's discernment and wisdom. Okay. What you talking about? If they want to just do a hookup, would they have to approach me? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely. I wouldn't like. At this point, I wouldn't do that. So yeah,
you wouldn't do what?
Just approach me like, you want to fuck?
No, I'm not saying. I'm saying, let's say you friends, and then you're saying, no, I don't think you would just approach somebody and say that.
Oh, okay.
You saying they would have to initiate that in the friendship. What if the friendship is just?
Oh no, we have a conversation about it. I'd be like, because I mean, at the end of the day, you gonna know if the vibe is there. It ain't gonna be like I'm gonna know if the vibe is there. Then it's gonna be like, well. If we, ain't nothing going, what I'm saying? Like, that's a conversation. Is anything going to change? Or do you think it's a good idea? Or do you think things going to change if this go down?
Well, I think a lot of dynamics change it.
I mean, of course it's gonna change, but are you able to control it?
It just depends. I think it depends on, because some women are able to, but then I think it depends on the frequency. It depends on what happens during that situation, because a lot of women feel like too, if I'm doing this, giving you, my all, is a say, people looking at different scenarios nowadays. We think about public health. Nobody's trying to have a bunch of different, I don't know if people are trying to have multiple partners like that and being very promiscuous in this with everything going on. People want to know, okay, because whoever you take in, we talked about the soul ties before. Right. That person is attached to you and whoever they slept with, and right. So nobody's necessarily trying to do that.
Well, conscious people aren't. I say that part.
Right, but that's what I think is a deterrent too. Like, it's one thing if something just happens and it happened, but the next day it's like, okay, that happened. Now what?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I definitely agree with that. So soul ties is very real. Like I said, you have to be careful who you enter and who you allow to enter into you, because it's more to just that than them. You know what I mean? So, that's my whole point. Like, I'm, younger days didn't care because I didn't know no better. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm conscious and know better, I'm more selective. You know what I'm saying? About
So you're more selective in what?
In everything, like as far as like whom I consider to be in relationship with, or companionship with, friendship, and this goes further than women. You know what I'm saying? Because unhealthy relationships come from anywhere. You know what I'm saying? From the same gender or whatever. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So it's having that discernment, having that wisdom to know, who is real, who is genuine, and who is just along. Because I go here, like, growing up, I've had a lot of friends that used to just be around me because they're like, oh, he get all the women, so I'm gonna try to hang
with him. Where you getting all the women?
Huh?
Where you getting all the women?
You already know me. Don't even play that. Don't even play like that, man. Don't even play like that.
Where?
Don't even play like that. Don't even play like this. But no, anyway. So yeah, so like it's learning that discernment to know, who was really there for you and who was there just to benefit from you. You see what I'm saying? I mean, it ain't got. You can go from any other angles. It'd be if somebody got a lot of money, I'm just hanging right here because, or he got a car and I ain't got no car, I'm gonna hang right here. It's broad. I'm just using an example.
So
you know what I'm saying?
You can go even in business and just different stages of your life, and seeing what value. I've reevaluated a lot of friendships, in terms of where I'm at with my business and my future goals. And, I hate to say, we're in different seasons this time. Sometimes we do that cleansing of, I may not connect. I may sever those relationships in the new year, because it's all about the energy. And that there's some people that are energy drainers.
Right.
And
I call them energy vampires.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's a such situation where, some people you call them, they're always in a problem. They want to dump on you. That's a real thing, and you take it in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And the problem is, like, I want to use this example what we talked about earlier. So, we had friends that we was in school with, for 20 some years, whatever. And how people just go their separate ways. They might not, communicate no more. They might meet another friend group. You might meet a friend group, or it just might, y'all just move different places or whatever, or they might have got married or whatever, whatever situation. But like, just for instance, like with homecoming, when you reunite, it's like y'all never missed a beat.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? So I say that to say, like, even in relationships, it should be that same. It should be that same respect in that light as well. Understanding that maybe we just, grew apart. Maybe I evolved to a point that you didn't evolve. It's okay though. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to be trapped. That's all I'm saying. And but listen.
Trapped?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because the way I say the way they depict marriage in America is like, forever and ever. and to death do us part.
Scare men?
It's not scary. It's just not true. Like, it's, first of all, we don't know what we go when we transcend. You know what I'm saying?
We don't.
Right. And on top of that, like, it's making you feel like that even if shit ain't right, and even if y'all miserable, you just got to be miserable.
No, but I feel like it's not as easy to leave someone when you're married to them. I feel like the problem with our generation now, we don't work through problems. Like, it's so quick to stop. And I think that comes from that fear that equals that intensity that women have when they first meet men. Because now it's like 0 to 1,000. You even said you meet somebody 2 weeks later, they're like, we're going to be together. Because they're thinking, I don't know if you're going to get mad at something I say, and then I don't talk to you again. And it's that whole non-committal society we have. And the older generation, they had arguments, they had differences, but they worked through it because they honored their commitments. And it's not about looking at it as a scary. I think it's about the person you're with, how they view commitment, and if you view it the same way they view it.
Okay, but this is my comeback on that. Like, so the way marriage is set up, everything in this country is set up with what? The Bible, right? Even the court system. And I talked about this a lot of times too. But it also does it with the marriage. Okay, but you're attesting and swearing on something when it's not even, it's contrary to what it's saying. You get what I'm saying? So even, I think it's in 1 Corinthians 7 somewhere. Yeah. So anyway, Paul even said, like, I would rather you not be married because we're in the last days. And you know what I'm saying? Like, basically what he was trying to say was, you need to get yourself together. Focus on yourself, because you'll get distracted and you'll get so that's my whole point. Like, I get it, and it's up to the individual at the end of the day. Some people, that's might be what they want, but that's a conversation that two people need to have from, like, at some point in time in the beginning, to understand like where they're at. And also, people just need to speak that truth and stop like saying yeah. No, fuck that. Tell your truth. Like, if that's not what you want to do, speak it. That way it eliminates, you know what I'm saying, years of disappointment.
I just think marriage, especially as we get older, is more than just, it's about knowing that when I'm going through the perils of life, when someone passes away, when something happens, somebody's sick, I have somebody to help me with that. I have a partner, somebody who can help me with the perils of life. Because when you got to make decisions in terms of, it's harder when you are single. Let's say you're dealing with aging parents, or you're dealing with, somebody sick, or maybe you're sick, or you're sick. You want to have somebody to help you. That is what it's about. The part, it's not just about feeling locked down forever. It's like knowing no matter what, that person is there for me. I mean, like, I got somebody who can help me.
But I agree with it 100%. But at the end of the day, you can always have somebody to help you.
Okay, yes, you can. But I'm saying a partner, somebody who you lay down with, that's something different than a random person, because you may not. Somebody showing up for you in a marriage and a committed relationship is different than somebody showing up for you as a friend or no, I get it. I'm just saying, like, when you have to, that's where I look at it differently, because when there's situations and things that happen in life, that is when you realize the importance of that commitment level and why it could be possibly advantageous for you to be married. People look at, I'm going to switch gears for a second, the situation with Puffy and how he's not married. And people always say that if he was married, it would go a different way. And it probably would. I think it would. But he already, look, okay, you don't think so?
No,
his life would have been different. I mean, it's in the Bible. Okay.
No. So basically what you're saying is a woman would have been his savior.
I'm not saying that. I just said it would have went a different way. I'm not saying the savior. Now I'm saying that,
I mean, think about it.
God first. God first in marriage. But I'm saying in terms of having a partner, and I've seen it in other instances. I have other examples.
You have people that are married now that's still doing the same stuff.
But that's the dynamic of their marriage.
But my thing is, if a person is a certain way, it don't matter whom they're with.
That's correct.
Or whom they're married to.
People evolve. They have to evolve, or either they got to, like, I feel like.
I mean, on the flip side, you can look at J-Lo. She had what? Six husbands within a decade. I mean, but again, that's because people are not dealing with. You have broken people dealing with broken people. Mm-hmm. That's the whole key to this thing. Once you heal yourself and love yourself the way you're supposed to, you won't even have to worry about the stuff we're talking about. Right. It starts with you. That's the whole point. Like, instead of like trying to like, I want this and I need this and blah blah. Do your own shadow work. Do your own self. Saying, like, love and care. Like, learn how to do that first, because we attract what we are. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you are healed and you like truly love yourself, that's what you're going to attract, and you won't have to worry about all the other bullshit. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm a firm believer in that. But I get it. I get what you're saying. But all I'm saying is people need to stop like trying to procrastinate, like stop trying to ignore themselves by just being with people, expecting them to like fulfill something that they can't fulfill. Because you were setting them up for failure, and you setting yourself up for failure, because they're not gonna be able to fulfill all the things that you need and want, and you're not gonna be happy. Right. Okay. Look in the mirror.
Well, I think we went down a rabbit hole. We touched on this point. But anyway, so I guess yeah. I mean,
but that's an easy solution.
I don't know if we made any headway, but for me, there's still value and commitment. We were talking about the differences of dating, but just being honest and open, and whatever you want in your intentions, just tell that person that, and then you're saying just live and let live.
No, at the end of the day, like I am who I am, okay, but I already know that there are people, like I said, there are traditional people out there. There are people who honor that, marriage life, and there are people, there are people who do other things. Like, it's to the individual at the end of the day. I can't say either one is wrong. You know what I'm saying? I can't say either one is right. It's just to the individual, and that's the whole point I'm trying to get across. Is respect a person for their truth, and don't try to change nobody, especially when they already giving you their truth. Even no matter, because at the end of the day, if you focus on yourself and you work on yourself and you do the necessary, steps to truly love yourself and take care of yourself, all this stuff will not even matter. And again, we attract who we are. We attract, you know what I'm saying? So that's my 2 cents on that one.
All right.
Got any closing remarks?
No.
Appreciate y'all for joining us on the 21st episode of Outside the Box with Seth, Siyon. I don't even know the topic of this, but I put it in somewhere because we went everywhere with this one. Anybody that would like to donate to this show, put the links up right now. I appreciate any donations, gratitude. Also, I'm gonna be doing some live podcasts on my YouTube, so make sure that you subscribe right now, because what I want to do is do live podcasts and have just interacting with all my followers, and I just come up with random topics and stuff like that, so yeah, this is a new season. It's going down. Appreciate Candy Cash for being on the podcast once again. It's been real. And how long you in town for?
A few more weeks.
Okay. You're going back to DR. Mm-hmm. So yeah, we thinking about launching something out there too as well. So look out. This might be going international. Mm-hmm.